How you doing, Vivian?
I'm doing really well. How are you doing, Hammer?
Fantastic. Another day in this fast-moving pace of the startup world, which is always invigorating. But at the same time, you gotta make it work, right?
Yes, exactly. I know the feeling.
What we're gonna do today is probably step up the pace a little bit, and
Yep.
I'm sure that the people who are viewing now, who've been following this journey. By the way, congratulations on continuing the journey.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
at this stage right now, just give us like a real, very quick, just in case somebody comes in and they don't have it, just a real quick, narrow description of the company.
So Snaps is a mobile platform, and we connect fans to content they love, either music content, film content, brand content, and they can make user-generated creative photos with this branded content.
Right, fantastic. I want to get like right down to the nuts and bolts. It's a very, very competitive market, the space that you're in. And I wanted to just have you point out the differentiator between you and some of your competitors and tell me what those competitors are, who they are.
Sure. So the mobile photo space is certainly very crowded. I think we've carved out a new space that's actually uncharted territory. So we're using augmented reality to create a new form of visual communication. That hasn't been done on a mass scale yet. Obviously, Google is doing that with Google Glasses, but it's not going to be applied to the masses. We're doing it on smartphones, which means that just about everyone in this country and around the world is starting to have access to a smartphone. So I think when we think about communication and how it's going to evolve, it's going to go beyond Twitter, it's going to go beyond Instagram, it's going to go beyond just posting images on Tumblr or Pinterest, and it's going to go towards a more personalized, creative self-expression, and that's what Snaps allows. And so by using sort of GPS-based augmented reality, we're taking that whole idea of sort of visual communication and taking it to absolutely the next level in a way that there is no one else out there doing that in the way that we are right now.
So you don't really, as far as you're concerned, the Google glasses and others in the augmentation space, you're saying all those are not necessarily your competitors because you guys have
They're not
right,
competitors.
right, right. So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I think if anything, Google's actually great in that they're educating people about augmented reality. So they're letting people know this is a new technology, right? You saw it in Minority Report with Tom Cruise. Google's bringing that to life, but now Snaps is making it mainstream and bringing it to the brands the musicians the films So Google's actually helping us. They're helping sort of set the stage, but they're not a competitor. They're doing something different.
okay, when did you launch? And let's talk about
Yeah.
traction and growth because we have to try to get all this in. So we want
Yeah,
to talk about from launch,
sure.
where you are now, traction, and scaling and growth. How are we going to accomplish those?
Yep. So Snaps launched about 5 months ago. The traction and growth has been pretty amazing in that we've signed up over 2 dozen clients since, worked in verticals including CPG, retail, film, TV, music. So just hit a number of verticals, and what we're seeing, which is sort of obviously is so critical for ubiquity for a new type of communication, is that it works across all different verticals. So it works really well. We just like did a launch for the Pet Shop Boys and Jay Sean and Group Love, and all very different types of artists, right? And then at the same time, next week we're launching a campaign for Kate Spade, and we just did a campaign for Nestle and for Dexter and for the Travel Channel. So these are all different types of clients that are using Snaps to engage their consumer or their fan base in a new way.
Are you
So a lot of traction.
so you give them all the analytics back, or are they able to get the analytics back and
Yes.
apply it?
So the beauty is they're getting both the content, so this sort of these augmented reality photos, these user generated ads, and they're getting the data and analytics behind it. So unlike a typical ad network where you're just getting data analytics, here we're also giving the content. The client owns the content.
So what's the strategy to scale or to grow?
So it's actually a pretty terrific funnel that is through the brand, it's through our partners, right? So when we work, like we just worked with Group Love, for instance. you know, they loved the app so much that they started using it and promoting it to their fans. Same with the Pet Shop Boys. The Pet Shop Boys went and used this with all their fans, and so they're doing user acquisition for us, right? Same thing with Kate Spade. Kate Spade has a really strong consumer base, right? So next week they're going to be launching this on a global scale, in Europe, in Asia, whatnot, and they're going to be promoting snaps. So actually, our brands and then our partners, sort of in the music and this in the sports space and the entertainment space, are all doing the marketing for us, and so that's really the user acquisition funnel.
Okay, and let's talk about real quickly about the funding. How much you raised, and are you still in the fundraising phase right now?
We've raised just about $3 million in angel funding, and we have a little bit more that we just extended the round because there was a lot of interest. So we just got the board to extend the round. So we're going to raise a little bit more capital as part of really closely wrap that up as part of the angel round, and then in the fall go out for an institutional round.
Last question.
But there's a little bit more money in the angel
Okay,
round.
who's the lead investor?
Yeah.
Who's the lead?
Do I get a question?
Yeah, yeah. Well, okay, but who's the lead?
To the lead is well, there's a number of leads, but Jeremy Zimmer from United Talent Agency and Steve Canner from who is Canner Fitzgerald
Oh,
and Ed Mathias from the Carlyle Group. So my question, I grew up, listening to your music and following you and really love the trajectory you've taken as an entrepreneur yourself. And I think one of the things for us we're realizing is that the music space and the entertainment space is a really exciting space because the fans really want to connect with artists, right?
right.
And so, I was just wondering what your advice would be for how we reach even more, whether you say artists or bands, but like I saw, that the amazing like performance you did with like you and Psy did, right? Which was pretty great. And so, like we'd love to do a campaign with you or with Psy or with the two of you together, something really, something that fans would love.
The real answer to that
Yeah.
would be to again to start from conception, right? So you're going to take an
Yep.
artist, a band, and incorporate
Yep.
snaps from the very beginning. So that you can build a
Yes.
total integrated campaign that would make it you would be a soft sell into the fan base versus a real hard push. But we'll talk about that later.
Oh yeah,
And
exactly.
it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much,
Okay.
Hammer. It was
All right.
great to meet
All
you.
right. Nice to meet
I
you too.
really
Take care.
appreciate it.
Nice to meet you too.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
Bye.